Nancy, good morning. How are you?
Oh, man, always great to be on Off the Bench. And this kind of feels like a holiday weekend with NFL opening kickoff night tonight, LSU, Texas, A&M, Clemson both on Saturday, Saints Monday night. I mean, it feels like literally a 5-day holiday starts today. So I'm in good spirits.
Mincy, before we jump into the selections, and I don't even know if Texas and LSU's on the docket, explain to me what's going on here with this spread. It opened up with LSU favored by 4.5, depending on where you got it, and now it sits at 6.5, and it looks like it's still on the move.
This has been one of the craziest lines, even going back to this summer, because earlier this summer I saw it at LSU -7 in the games of the year stuff, and then a week ago, before LSU week 1, I saw it at Texas by 1. Then it comes out at LSU by 4. Now it's 6.5, and to me, I think everybody's paying close attention to Joe Brady, Joe Burrow, and the LSU offense. I know it was just Georgia Southern, but we just saw a totally different playbook, and I think that's been a huge part of it as people are buying into the LSU offensive changes.
And do you mean by that, Mintz, does this movement mean that the smart money's buying in on the LSU offense, or is this a general public?
I think it's the general public, but the other thing, Texas has only 2 returning starters on defense, and even though they crushed Louisiana Tech, and I was wrong about that, Jamar Smith still went 34 of 51 for well over 300 yards passing, and he's a 56% career completion percentage. And so I think people really like that matchup of LSU's passing offense against what could be a susceptible Texas D.
Yeah, one thing we'll get to a bit later as we continue to talk about this game. Texas only outgained Louisiana Tech 454 to 413. The Bulldogs are just having trouble finishing drives.
Yeah, Louisiana Tech only punted twice in the game too. And a lot of the metrics and stuff I look at, Texas last year kind of overachieved when you look at where their offense ranked. And so I kind of, I've been saying all along, I think they're a little overhyped. So I hope that plays out in the field Saturday.
All right, Mincy, before we get to the widespread panic bed here and get this weekend's picks, recap last week for us. I know there was only 4.
Yeah, there were 4, and technically we went 1-3.
Oh.
But But Memphis was 5.5 when I gave it out on OTB, and it ended up at 3.5. And so everybody that bet Memphis Ole Miss won, but it counts as an L on OTB. I mean, I'm not going to make excuses.
No, I think it's where the line is when you hand out the pick. If you want Mintz's picks, you got to act immediately. So we'll give you the dub if you hand
It would
out.
be the other way.
What happened?
Okay, well,
it would be the opposite.
Well, but either way, the point is, I wasn't wrong about Memphis Ole Miss. So I'm not too concerned about last week. I'm ready to get the NFL rolling, and let's do this thing.
Hell yeah. Flush week 1 on to the opener for NFL and week 2 of college football. All right, Mincy, let's go. What's the week 2 play? What's the first play of the weekend?
We're starting with, we have 2 college and 4 NFL because I smashed NFL last year, and we're going to keep that rolling. First college game, an interesting matchup. It's Miami in North Carolina. And last week, Mac Brown kind of awakening the echoes, upset Will Muschamp in South Carolina. This is an interesting matchup to me because I don't know if y'all remember when Manny Diaz was the Texas defensive coordinator for Mac Brown, and Mac Brown canned him because of one really, really bad game. And I think this is a revenge game for Manny Diaz all these years later from that. I don't think they really got along well. And I like Miami laying 4 in North Carolina, specifically because Miami had the off week after the week 0, 24-20 loss to Florida. And I think North Carolina, even though it was a big win last week against South Carolina, they're still starting a true freshman quarterback, and I thought it was kind of fluky. So I think Miami comes out and takes care of North Carolina and Chapel Hill laying 4. That's my first pick.
Love it.
Miami -4. All right, second pick.
Second pick's another college game. It's a revenge game from last year. Not a lot of people talking about the Washington Huskies this year, but Jacob Eason, former 5-star quarterback for Georgia, got beat out by Jake Fromm. He went back to his home state, Washington, looked great last week, 27-36, threw for 4 touchdowns against Eastern Washington. One of the best FCS teams. And Washington's hosting Cal this week. And this is a Cal team. If they get 8 first downs this game, I'm going to be surprised. They are wretched on offense. One of the worst offenses I've seen. So I'm taking Washington at -13.5 against Cal in this game on the revenge, and I'm buying Jacob Easton as a big bounce back here this year for the Huskies.
Is this one in Berkeley or is this one at Washington?
No, it's at Washington.
Okay.
I would take it at Cal, but last year that was a really bad loss for Washington, 12-10, and really hurt their perception nationally. So I think this is a bounce back from that. All right, we're going to move on now to the NFL. And first, I've got an over-under pick.
Nice.
I don't know what the hell is going on in this Bills-Jets game, but 82% of the public is slamming the over. If people seen these teams play, like what exactly about Buffalo and the New York Jets makes you think shootout? You got two, young quarterbacks. You got, Buffalo's got a super underrated defense. Trey White's turned into one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. And the Jets, now with Jamal Adams and C.J. Mosley and Leonard Williams, Quentin Williams have a good D as well. I'm taking under 41 in the Bills-Jets. I think it's going to be an ugly division matchup.
Ooh, okay. But, that is a low number, Ben, is it not?
It is a low number, but I just can't get over people slamming the over thing. This is kind of a fade the public play. I just don't understand anybody's logic. You want to bet the over in this game. All right, next up, we have three 3 o'clock games. So it's going to be really fun from 3 to 6 o'clock. And we're going to start, it seems inevitable, but we're going to the old desert. Y'all been hearing me chirping about the air raid and coming to the NFL with Kingsbury and Kyler Murray. Detroit cannot lay points on the road in pro football. It just cannot happen. They're a 2.5-point favorite in Arizona. Public 78% on Detroit. People aren't buying at Arizona. I don't know how good Arizona will be this year, but I love them week one. They haven't. I don't know how you even prepare for Arizona here if you're Detroit. You hadn't seen any of this offense. I think Arizona's going to show out week one. And I like them plus 2.5 at home.
And T-Bob, weren't you shopping the theory a couple of weeks back that Kingsbury was just totally fooling everybody?
I have a incredibly tenuous. I don't even know the connection actually. I have a guy who claims that he knows a guy that is on the Cardinals coaching staff, a guy's guy. And that what they have shown in the preseason is nothing like what they are going to run. Like, they absolutely will not huddle, and that the NFL is trying to keep them down and stuff. So, I don't know. He was trying to sell me that the Arizona offense is going to, revolutionize NFL play. I remain to be convinced.
Cardinals getting points at home for the fourth play of the weekend here. All right, more 3 o'clock plays Sunday afternoon. What we got?
Oh, man, this one, I've talked about this a couple of months ago. How much I like the Tampa Bay Bucs to turn around this year. I'm a big believer in Devin White, Todd Bowles, Bruce Arians, just the whole thing. I think they finally got a coaching staff. They are pick 'em at home against the San Francisco 49ers team. There are a lot more questions than answers from where I'm seeing it. I still don't believe in Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm just going to come out and say it. I have a lot of questions there. He's played 10 games in his NFL career. But this game is pick 'em at Tampa. I like Tampa a lot. It's one of my favorite games of the week, taking Tampa Bay. And also, while we're on it, I like over 6.5 wins for the season for Tampa. You can bet that too.
Okay. Yeah, man, there's some pretty shocking numbers on Garoppolo at just how average of a quarterback he has been. Obviously, he looked putrid during this preseason, but even when he's been healthy, the statistical difference between him and Nick Mullins is negligible. They're basically the same quarterback, so I'm right there with you, Ben.
Yeah, I just have a lot of questions there. Nick Bosa already being hurt, I don't think helps them very much either. He was going to help that pass rush. Final play, big news in Dallas. They finally got the Zeke Elliott thing figured out, got the 6-year, $90 million deal. Cowboys are laying 7 at home against the Giants. I think if this game was in Week 5 or Week 6, it'd be Cowboys by 10. I like the Dallas by 7 a good bit. I just don't see how the Giants are going to score here. Dallas has so much speed on defense and athleticism. I love Eli Manning, obviously, from Ole Miss days, but, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say his best days have come and gone. No Odell. I think Dallas can stack the box on Barkley, and they win handily against the Giants. So.
Dude, the Eli era is over, bro. It's all about Danny Jones.
Yeah, I wonder how many games. I think Eli, what do y'all think? He starts 5 or 6 games this year?
Maybe.
I kind of feel the same way.
Isn't that what Booger said? He said he'd give him 6 games. If they fail utterly, then you start playing Jones. I'm like, well, I guess that's a smart play. It just feels like they are for sure going to fail utterly. So why not just go ahead and move on?
All right, Mintz's six-pack real quick to recap here. Miami is visiting North Carolina this weekend. He likes the Canes. Washington is hosting Cal. He likes the Huskies there. Those are your 2 college plays on Saturday. Everything else is the NFL. Buffalo and the Jets under the 41. The Cardinals hosting the Lions plus 2.5. He likes the home team, the Cardinals there. Tampa Bay in a pick'em. Also likes Tampa Bay in a plus 6.5 total win for this upcoming season. And the Cowboys favored by 7. Mincy, just for laughs and giggles here, who would you take in Texas LSU with the spread where it sits right now at LSU minus 6.5?
I've liked LSU the entire offseason because I've been slamming the Texas overrated thing. So I would take LSU if I had a gun to my head. There's a lot of people talking about Tom Herman being 13-2 against the spread as an underdog. So that part concerns me a little bit. But I just think LSU's got – I always like LSU against any Big 12 or spread-type team because LSU's athleticism with the defensive backs usually tears these kind of teams up historically.
Mintzy, all right, we'll be monitoring, man. Looking forward to next week and recapping. Thank you.
Heck y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, Ben
Mintzy,
Mintz,
take it
afternoon
easy,
drive,
brother.
100.7 The Ticket up there in Shreveport, Bossier, 3 o'clock this afternoon. Make sure and tune into our guy. He's with us every Thursday handing out winners. All right, we'll close that hour one.